Hi, my lovely. My name is Sandra Deck, and I'm trauma-informed coach and a specialist in abuse caused by narcissism. Now, today, I hope it's quite cold. It's beautiful and sunny here in the UK, but I hope you've got something to drink because I would like you to take this step by step. It won't be a long presentation. However, I would like to invite you. I've got my notes on me, so if I would be looking somewhere else, not in a screen, it's simply because I need to look at my notes. Why narcissistic abuse? Why not some positive, motivational subjects? Well, because I can relate to it. I wasn't aware, and it happens very often, that when you are in situation, because it doesn't have to be like romantic relationship, it can be relationship between your parents and you, or your employer, or even a friend. It doesn't have to be connected to romance. However, that's the type of narcissism, not narcissism, because narcissistic personality disorder, it's one thing. And how you are treated by a toxic person, it's could be something else. Because these days, very often we say, oh, he is a narcissist. Oh, he is so narcissistic. It's not necessarily completely right. But I don't want to go much into science and terminology. My purpose is to give you a bit of, I would say, something like a glimpse when talking about how to help yourself if you think, or if you are trying to understand narcissistic abuse, how to help yourself, right? So abuse this type, it's very, how can I put it? I would say intricate because it's based on grooming. Sorry about the light. I tried to put the blind down, but it doesn't really work as I see. It's based on grooming. So it's just like when you're outside and you think, right, it's not really raining that heavily, so I don't need an umbrella, and you go out. But then the sort of light rain after you spend some time outside can soak you through. Okay. And I am using this, it just come to me spontaneously now, this metaphor to show you that narcissistic abuse, it's not that obvious at first, especially with a person who is very good in manipulation and will try to show you the best side of themselves and will try to make an impression like they are really interested in you and they are good people. And this is why it's so hard to agree and to understand that kind people turn out to be vicious and having some sort of bad motives in their hearts. And this is one thing you can learn to let go while you are working on your healing. Okay. So when talking back, because I am so it's so easily distracted and taking you offshore, but going back to step one, it's acknowledge the pain. I know it's not easy, and I know sometimes it just seems like it's much easier to pretend that the problem doesn't exist, but we know all very well that that's not the case. And as soon as you notice that there is something that you don't agree with, something that you find a bit disturbing, that's very often first step in your wake-up call. Okay. So when you start to notice that you feel like you doubt in your reality, I know it sounds very bizarre, right? What am I talking about? And I'm not going much into depth. I would just like to just give you a few points, right? So if you think something has happened, but you are kind of like doubting, did it really happen? Was it really in a way I remember? Maybe I wasn't right. If this sounds familiar, this is what I mean when you doubt or you are getting confused about your reality. Okay. Another step is, well, challenge actually, and difficulty is when you believe that the abuse was your fault. Okay? Abuse, it's never your fault. Even if you could be triggering, you can call your names. I don't want to do that, but very often we are very critical about ourselves. So even if you think like you earn it, like you behaved in a very snappy, triggering way, like you think that you actually provoke this person. No one has right to abuse you, but it's easier to take blame on you than to face that the other person actually is responsible. It's easier. Sometimes we do it because um, we see it as it's an like safer option for us, okay, to admit that it was my fault, not the other person. And then obviously you struggle and you feel guilt and shame. And that's something none of us lightly wants to talk about, feel it, heal it. It doesn't come lightly. Healing in general happens often not because you choose to heal, but because you have no other option: is die or heal. Die in a straightforward way, or die in a way like you really are not yourself anymore, walking zombie, or actually start to do something about it. Okay, then the solutions to what I mentioned, so feeling confused and doubting in your reality, believing that abuse was your fault, and struggling with guilt and shame, the first thing is to work on your emotions and validate it. I know it comes really, again, uneasy, but it's okay to feel hurt or lost or confused. It's okay. What is not okay is to take it off you and not seeing it. That's something that doesn't help you with your healing, okay? It's okay to feel hurt and lost. And that's very often when you start to, tiny step, one step at a time, start to notice your own emotions, how your body responds, because often in your head, you will explain everything. You will over analyze, but your body won't lie to you. Okay? So at the first step, when you acknowledge the pain, you start to validate your emotions. That's the first one. And then what I encourage you is to understand narcissistic abuse. The knowledge is the key. So if you, sorry, that's my printer. If you really struggle to see what is happening, to like label it, to put a name on it, educate yourself. These days there are so many amazing channels on YouTube absolutely for free. They will just cost you your time and attention, but you don't have to find an excuse. I can't go to therapy, I can't use coaching sessions because I have no money. You actually can do something about it completely for free. And we are going back to, what do you choose? What do you choose? Do you choose to stay in this place you are here right now? And I don't think it's nice, isn't it? Or do you prefer to actually let go? And there is no promise you will feel better straight away. It's not like a magic wand that you go to a coaching session or you actually educate yourself and you feel better straight away. No, you understand. And very often it means that you feel hurt even more. But that's the right way to get you out of this place, out of this, I would say, dark place, because as soon as you start to realize you are a victim of narcissistic abuse, you don't want that. I didn't want that. However, remember, validating and understanding, that's something that will help you, okay? And then the last thing, I know when talking about writing something, it just seems could just seem so stupid, like you are back like a pensioner, I don't know, in the past, or a teenager and having my diary. No, it actually works, because that's the way to get something out of your head on a paper. There are lots of studies explaining that journaling makes amazing difference because it's how our brain works. And even if you say out loud, or even if you think something in your head, so it's just like thought or saying process, it doesn't have the same impact on you and your body as when you write it down. Okay, so if you can write your experiences down with no judgment, just simply you, paper and pen, trust me or not, but try it. You don't have to really trust it. Try it. See how you feel afterwards, because it does work. So I would like to finish at this stage because I've got a feeling like it's a lot to process, and I am a fan of giving something but in small portions, because that's very often how person operates after experiencing trauma. That when you think about bigger picture, your brain can't process it. But if you think about something little, one bite at a time, right? That's something that is achievable. So for today, I would like to finish now at this point, and remember that we were talking about acknowledgement of the pain and the ways you can deal with it. Feel free to go back to the beginning of this video. Feel free to do it as many times as you need it, because there is no shame in the fact that your brain is not able to process something that you are learning, especially when you're experiencing the bad side of it. Okay, so just to remind you, my name is Sandra. I am trauma-informed coach. I am hypnotherapist as well, brain spotting practitioner, EFT level 2 student. I actually need to do my case studies in these areas. And I am narcissistic abuse specialist. If you would like to sign to my channel, please do, because every so often I will add some new content, and I wish you all the best. Honestly, I know sometimes you feel like there are no solutions, like the situation you are in is dead end. There is only a wall in front of you. I've been there, and I got out from narcissistic abuse and relationship. And because I could do it, I know you could do the same. Lots of love to you.